Friday, February 25th, 1944. Number 36. Dialogue with Gitta. As requested, I have written out my response to the question, what would you do in the New World for the New World? However, I am doubtful about its quality and I feel quite uneasy. Ancient earth-plowing tribes and shepherds sacrificed the most beautiful grains, the most perfect fruit, and the healthiest livestock to their gods. They offered the first fruits of their efforts. This offering was an image, an early model for today's task, to elevate matter to meet the spirit. Only when they made offerings did they receive rain. At that time, water was still above and was the most precious of gifts. Other ages came and knowledge arrived. Now it is the human who eats the most perfect apple, the best grain, the most beautiful fruit. The worm-eaten, wind-fallen apple is painted bright red and displayed so that all can see that the sacrifice has been duly made. But the tiny worm in the apple, the child of the divine, pierces through the paint and the fraud is exposed. Stone, wind, water, fire, plants and animals rise up and accuse the human being, for now the earth has been painted red, and behold, it is blood. Silence. May each of your deeds and each of your tasks be genuine offering. Only the most beautiful, the most perfect of what you bring forth is worthy of being laid at the feet of the divine. Does need apples? Does need wheat? The divine law is wholeness. Bring me the first fruit of your labors, and I will carry it to the divine. Thus you will receive the blessing for a new sowing. Instead of rain, a new task. In the course of the past week, I repeatedly postponed the writing out of my homework assignment. What would I do in the New World for the New World? The topic was so far-reaching and bewildering to me that I was hardly able to imagine this new world. Actually, the assignment had not surprised me so much. It was not unusual for the angels to demand the impossible from us only to have it later revealed as possible after all. Yesterday, I finally wrote down my thoughts, conscientiously, but without the slightest touch of enthusiasm. I have the feeling that I could have answered the question about my task for the New World in a better way. All that became clear to me was that I can only pass through the gate to this new world by becoming fully aware of my individual abilities. On the eve of the 7th day, I finally wrote an answer, but more out of a sense of duty than with conviction. Knowledge has misled you. Rather than becoming aware of the whole, you have concentrated only on what the effort cost you. Only complete concentration counts. All knowledge derives from this. Why was I unable to concentrate in a complete way? You failed to give the task your complete attention. Ask. Even when I am able to smile, it does not last long, and soon I begin to sink down. Peter walked on the water. That is my answer. When he ceased to believe in himself, he sank. If you believe in yourself, then you believe in the divine. Do not err, there are not two, there is but one. Belief has no direction, no above and no below. Does not despise matter, for everything is the divine body. You only think you believe. If you sink, you cease to believe. The Master walked upon water and did not sink. He carried the Father in himself. He was united with the divine. Is this your goal? Yes. Can you be united with the divine without being the divine? Do not err, and you will not sink. Silence. I teach you. Whenever you are criticized, regardless of the source, this is the sign of a lack. It reflects not an incapacity on your part, but your capacity. May every criticism raise you higher. Criticism expands your capacity. Every object, every being around you asks of you, but only for that which you are capable of giving. Who asks of the pitiable, the incapable? Who asks for figs from the thistle? The fig tree is shaken, for figs are expected of it. No one bothers to shake the thistle. How might I attain the highest degree of my own fire? By achieving what is possible for you. You have no own fire. There is but one fire. What is your own is what you deserve. What you transmit is your own. The nearer to the circle of the divine, the more fire can come down, and a new I is born in you. You own nothing. You are nothing, and you are everything. Choose. To the giver of all fire. Silent prayer. Lille has not finished her notes and continues to write, sternly to her. The time of prayer is not the time of writing. Friday, February 25th, 1944. Number 36. Dialogue with the One Who Measures. Today we all feel the silent presence of the One Who Measures. This long silence is suddenly broken by the incessant ringing of the bells of the nearby church, Maria Remete. This unusually loud and long-lasting ringing is used in the village only as an alarm signal at the outbreak of fire. We do not read our essays aloud, for each of our thoughts and feelings is clearly evident to the angel. Finally, the bell ceases to ring, and the One Who Measures speaks. I bring the inner bell to ring. What does the inner bell reveal? I ask this in the name of your self-assessment. Have you truly become aware of your full potential? For that is what matters, not the words you have written. Could you have become aware of more? If so, we have nothing to add. We begin only there where you truly come to your limit. To me. Answer, I require your true measure, not too high, not too low. Look at me. With lowered gaze, I stuttered that at that moment I could not have achieved anything better. I tried as best as I could to fulfill the assignment about the New World, but I was still unable to find the 7 joys. With your words, you judge yourself. I ask again, do not answer with your head. Did you become aware of what is possible for you? It is not I who measures now, but you. This week I was unable to answer better. The One Who Measures weighs all. Beware of this. Why were you unable to do better? I was able to smile only with great difficulty. Is there nothing more? A self-evaluation is very difficult for me because I don't really know myself. For whom would it not be difficult? What is difficult for you is simple for others. But you have abilities that others do not have. You have more abilities than you believe. You underestimate yourself, not in your task but in your evaluation. You are capable of more in every sense. I had believed that true self-assessment is impossible, but Jozef proved me wrong. He is the only one of us who had intuitively perceived the meaning of our final examination as it came to be known. When asked, "My son, what does the inner bell say?" he simply answers with joyful certainty that he has given his very best. Indeed, he had written his answer with astonishing clarity. From this moment on, the one who measures, the most severe of our teachers, talks with him as with an intimate friend, and advises him to now live the intuitively perceived dimensions. Further, Jozef is assured that this is indeed possible. You can live it, for the one with whom you are united is close to you. A new circle is open to you. Give it your full awareness. Realize what it reveals to you. At last, I grasped that with this final examination we were not expected to summarize in a more or less logical way something that was already known, as is the case with the university exams throughout the world. No, our task was exactly the contrary, to let go of everything known and to spring into the never-before seen, the never-before heard, the never-before known, guided only by our intuition and our faith. Only Jozef had ventured the leap. Friday, February 25th, 1944. Number 36, Dialogue with Joseph. For Jozef, it is often difficult to say yes to life. The gloomy prospects of the year 1944 make this ever harder for him. Yesterday, as he struggled with this existential problem, the ceiling and a part of the wall in his workshop suddenly caved in on top of him. Jozef was not injured, but rubble and stones lay all around him on the floor. This greatly impressed Jozef, and he attributes symbolic meaning to it. You are the one who builds. Dig and prepare the foundation. Fill the hole with stones, then you may build upon it. The house cannot be built upon wooden planks. The motto of your way is not "it was," nor "oh, it would be good," and certainly not "it is good." The key word of the builder is be. "It was" signifies omission. That would be good. It's incapacity. "It is good." Smugness. Your motto is be. Your heaven is green because the earth is green. The law of gravity binds and raises up. I speak to you with joy. If you and I are unable to speak, then the stones speak to you. The message was for you. The stones fell to the earth to show where your lack is, but the recognized lack is no longer a lack. In the name of silence that builds. I later asked Hanna the meaning of "your heaven is green because the earth is green. The law of gravity binds and raises up." She explains that Joseph is of heaven and therefore lacks the weight of earth necessary for reaching an equilibrium between matter and spirit. She tells me that I, for my part, am of earth, and my task is therefore to reach towards heaven, thus compensating my excess of matter and my lack of spirit. Regrettably, all of our examination notes and other materials related to this exchange perished in the perilous months that followed. Friday, February 25th, 1944. Number 36. Dialogue with Lily. For Lily, there is no final examination. Political catastrophes are casting their shadows everywhere, and her pupils have taken all of her time as they spilled out their fears to her. Understandably, for the reality of the Nazi gas chambers is already common knowledge. Lily's brother is the proprietor of a distinguished café downtown near the Parliament, and one could always be sure to find Lily there, surrounded by her frightened pupils in a quiet corner until far into the night. And so, she had not written out the assigned task, an omission that is pointed out to her only very gently. The tiny sprout has no idea of the heights to which it will grow, and yet it swells and stretches as it strives toward the light. The intensity of its effort determines the ultimate outcome. Take heed. Everything depends upon the intensity of the effort. The knowledge that, in its depths, the promise of a great tree reposes would be in vain were it not for tiny sprouts striving and growing toward the light. The ground is so hard and the earth so heavy that to overcome it the sprout must persevere with all of its strength. My little servant, you have made an error. To fulfill the task, you must strive mightily. Fulfilling the task helps you grow. The more you grow, the more you can give. And the greater your task, the greater your growth. You helped 2 people, but you neglected 200, and your task could become 2,000. Do you believe this? Yes, I'm certain of it. Let this be a lesson to you. Raise your helping higher, far higher, above the level of feelings. Had you completed your assignment, forces that you cannot even imagine would have served you. They are still imprisoned in you, for you have not opened the door. Where is the locked door in me? You already fulfill the small task well, but from now on, take on a different role. Be Maria, not Martha. Renew your search, and you will find more. Search with total faith. There is no other way. Honor your task above all else, and then, believe me, then you will be able to help. Silence. The force between you 4 is wonderful. If you are aware of this, to me, then to smile will not be difficult. To Lily, then you will easily fulfill your task, then nothing will cause you pain. If only you could have faith, a creative faith, a double faith in the above, in the below, in Him, in you. If one faith is missing, then the other is in vain. To me, to smile is not difficult. You are His creation. Do not despise His work. Above, below, and all around, The divine is everywhere. Saturday, February 26, 1944. Number 36. Dialogue with Lily continued. It is Saturday. Lily is in the workshop trying to immerse herself in yesterday's lesson. Suddenly she feels an intense inner light. We are all aware of the unexpected presence of her angel. The moment, the time, and the occasion are out of the ordinary. Nonetheless, I have come to you, for my task is to help. Do you still have doubts? Are you still in the dark? Oh no, but I feel my task to be enormous. That is not darkness, but light that is too strong. The eye cannot see in the absence of light, but neither can it see when the light is too strong. You have received 3 sparks today. Do you feel them? Not yet. What are your greatest lacks? Lila answers with astonishing promptness. Lack of faith, lack of giving, and lack of work. Not lack of work, lack of doing your work. You have enough work, you simply do not act on it. The 3 points of your sign will ignite from 3 sparks. Having faith, giving, acting. Faith in yourself as well. The 3 sparks are not confined to time and space. The 3 lacks are fulfilled, they no longer exist. You will see that this is so. The slow body perceives this only later. But you are not only body. Your task is completed by more than body. Know the wholeness in yourself and you will become whole. To fulfill your lacks is no longer your task. Now may the fruit come. Do you believe that the impossible is possible? What you received today is a foretaste of wholeness. Silence. All of you, pay close attention. The word concentrates, it focuses. The word creates. To Lily, who had written down her lacks this morning. You formed your lacks into words, and thus the sparks could come. To me. Be aware of the word. The word builds. Which stone is fit into which is of the utmost importance. For what you build might otherwise collapse. All of you, you do not know how to use the word. The husk is not the corn, the chaff is not the grain. Word, name, mystery. Listen carefully, for what I say is of the essence. If you say be, it will be. If you say nothing, nothing will be. Not, oh, if only it could be. 5 words are less than this one. Be. Sometimes I believe is less than I believe. How I would like to always be able to help. 10 words. I help. 1 word. And there is no breach either in the words or in you. The act is the word of the body. Wholeness is not the many, but the intense, the concentrated, the focused, and that is the measure of the eternal. Ask more as a provision for the journey. I wish that all of this would remain as strong in me as it is at this moment. Do not wish for what you already have. Raise your wishes to a higher level. The body is slow, but it too will become aware. Friday, March 3rd, 1944, morning. Number 37, Dialogue with Gitta. This morning, as I tried to feel the 7 joys, I could suddenly feel the heart of my being. I speak to you of the 7 joys. You have reached the heart of your task, though with more difficulty than necessary. The 7 joys are 7 gates. You could have entered the sphere through the 7 gates. The gates open inwards and outwards. Your new task is to radiate the 7 joys from inside, through the same 7 gates. But now they open outwards. The eye sees it and shines. May help you in your task. Friday, March 3rd, 1944, afternoon, number 37, Dialogue with Gitta. I speak of your older brother. Listen. He will connect with the one who guides. He will be a good and useful partner. What you lack, he has. He is of heaven, you of the earth. The morning is the mediator between the sun and the earth. He is of heaven, I do not understand. He came from above. Now comes the turning point. Can I help him to free himself from the old as quickly as possible? Is that necessary? He receives everything from above. If you transform yourself, if you turn around, he also will transform himself and turn around. Do not help him. Only the weak require help. Tell me more. We have accepted your response as you wrote it. It is not about writing, it is about living the answer. Solve your assignment in this way. Let no day pass without opening the gates of joy. Open them in the morning, not in the evening. It is so hard for me to master my time. It is not your task to master time. Your task is to reach beyond time. No one can make 2 hours out of 1. If you, for only an instant, reach beyond time, you see all 7 joys at once. Listen. If you approach the sphere from outside, you can perceive only 1 gate at a time. But from within you see all 7 gates at once. The sphere rotates, every sphere rotates. This is what makes it a sphere. Every form is shaped according to the law of its motion. The sphere turns, but you do not. At the center of the great sphere is the divine, motionless. All is in motion except U. U created the human in the divine image. U entrusted the human with the small sphere. With bitter irony. Human beings have arranged it well. They do nothing but run around on its surface, and thus they get nowhere. Ask. What should the starting point of my work be? Certainty. Can the head be certain? No. Listen carefully, make no plans with the head, carry plans out with the head. The plan is with the divine, every plan. But you plan what is to be done with your head. You apply your head to your work prematurely. The head and time are one. Unable to understand the meaning of these words, I hold my head in my hands. Do not break your head. The plan is beyond a time. Become one with the plan, and you will never hurry and never tarry. I do my best to understand and remain silent. Ask, for our time is passing quickly. I make so many superfluous movements. Teach me proper movement. There is nothing superfluous on earth, and there is no lack. It is only that the superfluous, the excess, does not fill the lack. Excess in one place creates a lack somewhere else. Do not cast away the superfluous. In reality, nothing is superfluous. You are accountable for every movement you make. Know this, and the superfluous will soon find its proper place. Do you act according to what is expected of you? No, certainly not. You see, nothing is superfluous. Take away nothing, add nothing, but join the too much to the too little. Help everything to its proper place. Lack reveals the too much, and excess the too little. Direct one to the other, and all will be well. In the name of fulfillment. Friday, March 3rd, 1944. Number 37, Dialogue with Lily. I speak to all of you. Become pure, pure from the old. What is the old? The imperfect. Why become pure? For this reason, your asking creates. What you ask for shall come to be. You may no longer ask for yourselves, for you have no more lack. What you ask for, purified from the old, shall be. But it is necessary for you to ask. To Joseph. Woe unto you if you look back. To me. Woe unto you if you look back. To Lily. Woe unto you if you look back. To me. The good worker deserves daily bread so as to be able to give heavenly bread. To Joseph. The good worker deserves shelter so as to be able to build heavenly shelter. To Lily. The good worker deserves solitude so as to be able to give to the multitudes. To Hanna. The good worker deserves silence so as to be able to speak. There is no compromise. The divine law is wholeness, and all is contained in the whole. The greater embraces the lesser. To Lily. None of your little sheep will be lost. What kept them together until now? Did they come merely to move their bodies? When your faith grows, they will flock to you in still greater numbers. Do you have any questions? Yes, please tell me about purity. May all your acts, thoughts, works, and feelings be truly pure. Purity is everything in its place. Impurity is the act out of place. Muddled thinking is impure. Feelings mixed up with the spirit are impure. I think of the dialogue of January 28th about keeping the different levels of being distinct from one another. Nothing is dirty. That is an ugly word. There is only impurity. Always be in your place, your inner as well as your outer place. May the place not change you, but you the place. The church in which God is worshipped is holy and pure. But if religion dies, it might become a warehouse. A church becomes a church through veneration of God. Temples, churches, and religions are all still dying. But the new temple, the new church, has no walls. It is eternal. You are the builders and future priests of the immortal temple. It is known as the world delivered. Silence. Is something disturbing you? No, but something in me stood still and kept me from moving forward. This means that you have found the way. The shell was no hindrance until you found your task. Believe me, only now is the shell impure. As long as it protects, it is pure. But for you, it is now a hindrance. Leave it. The egg needs the shell, not the bird. A bird does not return to the shell. Ask. I'm worried about my pupil, Clara. Why is she so ill? The answer is in her name, which means purity. She offends against her own name by hiding impurity from herself. Hidden impurity is the cause of all illness. As I record the dialogue, the lead mine of my pencil slips from position and I am unable to continue writing. I impatiently shake the pencil in an attempt to fix it so that I can continue with my notes. To me. You have made a superfluous movement. You cannot account for it. It is impure. Love the tool you hold in your hand. It demands that you account for every one of your acts, every one of your movements. To serve the divine is the secret of freedom. Turning again to Lily. Shall we take leave? Oh, please, not yet. If you stand on the tips of your toes, you can already reach me. There is no more pit from which you cannot reach up to me. Soon the more will arrive. It rests in the womb of solitude and silence. May heaven be with you.